Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jennifer. I do hope that you stick around. We're a small but a growing family. If you like the content that I share on this channel, you can actually click that red subscribe button on the bottom, and also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like the content that I'm sharing. Yesterday I was actually packing orders that had to go out for the last box that I'm gonna have under Indoni Crown Care before we shut down, and I realized that I've never done a video about courier companies, and that is one of the important section when it comes to running a physical product business, because you will need a company or a means of moving your products from yourself to your customers. And so I think that is very important to talk about it. I think it's important for me to share my experience with some of the courier companies that I've used, and I've used a few. So I'm going to talk about 5 companies that I've actually used, and I'm going to rate them out of 5, and I'm going to tell you why I'm giving them that score, and that is based on my experience. Because here's the thing, how I may have experienced a certain company may not be the same for another company, may not be the same for you. However, it's important that I share my journey with hopes that it will be enlightening and helpful to someone out there, especially if you have a small business, you're running a small business, and you're trying to think of other courier companies that you can use, and also to know the courier companies that you should avoid. And I'm going to share some of those. So I have 5 companies that I've used, and I'm going to start with the first one that I feel like it worked for me. It worked for me for a while. The first one is Fastway. Now, out of 5, I'm gonna give Fastway 4. I'm not gonna give them 5 because there's always room for improvement, but I'm gonna give them 4. The reason why I'm gonna give Fastway 4 is because I found them to be very reliable. They were very reliable, even though their communication was not so good. However, they were reliable. There was never someone who said they didn't receive their package. I never had a package getting lost or being hijacked, even though I know that some businesses have had that experience where their shipments were hijacked and then they had to actually reimburse their customers or actually send new orders out. So for me, I've never experienced that using Fastway. I like that they were reliable. Setting up an account with them was very easy and affordable. So I started off with like 1,800. I think that was like the minimum, and that depends on the size of your satchels. Now I was using the middle one. There's also A3. I think I was using A4, and then there's A5. So I was using A4. So for A4, it was around 80 rands. However, they then put that together, and then they will add a VAT, and then you pay that amount to get 20 satchels. Then you use those. When they finish, you request another one. So that was the manual system that they had for a while. I think they still have it. However, what pushed me away from actually moving from Fastway to the courier company that I'm currently using is because they decided that they wanted to shift from manual and go into online. And if you go online, that means that you do everything online. You log in all the details, and then they give you the rate for each and every package. And in order for you to start with that online, it is a minimum of 3,000. So the reason why I moved is because I felt like, okay, they were busy communicating this online thing, and I felt like it was going to be something that will happen eventually, like soon. And so I decided to find another courier company that will be affordable to start with, because even though Fastway was affordable in the manual way, the one that they wanted to introduce, the idea that you have to start with 3,000, it was not something that made sense for me, especially as a company that works a lot with small businesses. Most small businesses do not have even 1,000 sitting in their cash flow waiting for it to be used in Courier. So like for me, when it comes to Courier, I charged it on each and every order. So it would be included in each and every order. So that is how I made back my money. So where was I going to get 3,000 to fund just shipping? And if there's one thing that my partner taught me is that, because he's an accountant, he said, do not commit your money, do not commit your money in things where it's just going to sit there. Rather make sure that you have as much cash flow as possible to keep you going than to put money in things like Courier, like a lot of money in things like Courier, buying a lot of packaging material, buying a lot of stock. Rather keep more cash flow and less of that, and you can always go back and add. So that is why for me the 1 year 3,000 didn't make sense. That's why I shifted. But when it comes to Fastway being just a courier company, they provide good service. The driver that I was working with was excellent. He was professional. He came on time. I appreciated that, and people got their packages on time. That is what I'm going to say when it comes to Fastway, and I will highly recommend Fastway to anyone. The second one that I've used that I will highly recommend is Pyroca Couriers. Now, Pyroca is a local business, a local courier company. Last time I checked, they were working between Joburg and Pretoria, basically Gauteng. So if you're in Gauteng, you're running a business and you have clients in Pretoria, Midrand, Centurion, Sentin, these places, you can actually move your things in those areas, and the minimum is 100 rands. I don't know if they've increased their rates, but last time I used them, they were 100 rands. Now, I'm going to give this courier company 4, and the reason why I'm giving them 4 is because of the type of service that they provide. Even though they are not all over, I like that because they are so focused in one province, it allows them to provide the best service. Now, they are a same-day delivery courier company. Same day, and it's 100 rands. So if you say that you want them to collect today, by today, whoever you are sending that to will receive it by 4. By 4, that package will be with them, and it will still be in good order because it didn't take a long time in transit. The reason why things get damaged is because they take a long time in transit. So I love Pyroca. I would actually recommend them if you are a small business owner, or if you are just a person that has family and friends and you normally move things. Then I would actually highly suggest Pyroca Couriers because they provide the best service, and you communicate through them via WhatsApp. So I'm going to leave their contact details on my description down below, and you can just send them a WhatsApp if you want to move things, and then they will get back to you. Just saying hi, and then they will respond to you asking what can they assist you with, and then they will also let you know what type of information you should provide in order for them to execute this thing for you. So for me, I find them very user-friendly. I find them reliable. I find them very professional and very affordable as well, because in other courier companies, you will pay 100 rands for a shipping that takes 3 to 4 days. With them, it's 1 day. So that is why I'm giving them 4. And 5, I would have given them 5. They deserve a 5. If I'm being honest, they deserve a 5. And then the next company that I've used is actually Paxi. Now, I vouch for Paxi, even though it's not a door-to-door service. However, the way that they've structured it and the fact that they get to areas that most couriers don't get to, for me, it already ticks so many boxes. And I also like that because it's not a door-to-door service, like many of us are not in the house every day, and these courier companies don't even tell you when they are on the way or when they're going to deliver on the day to you, and so you are just going like a headless chicken. And sometimes you find that you go out only to find that the courier company is going to come and deliver on the day. What I like about Paxi is that you collect at the Paxi that you have chosen, at the PEP that you have chosen, and you decide when it's convenient for you to go and collect, and they give you enough time and room to go and collect there. So because of those reasons, I will rate Paxi 4. I will give them 5, but then 4 is fine. I will give them 4 because of that. I also like their communication. I like that the moment you drop off the package, you get an SMS, the receiver get an SMS. When it gets picked up and it goes on transit, it's actually you get an SMS, the receiver get an SMS. Same thing when it's delivered. You both get communication that it has been delivered. So also what I like is that if the person who's supposed to receive it takes longer to go and collect, they will send reminders to both of you that you have this much days now to come and collect. You have this much days now to come and collect. Now what they notified me is that if a person doesn't come and collect until the days are finished, they send the package back to where it came from. So I like that service. I actually recommend Paxi. If you're a small business, I feel like Paxi is a right courier company to start with. It's affordable because it starts from 60 rands all the way up to 100 rands, and then you also get more. You don't have to be limited to certain areas. You can actually deliver everywhere. And I like that you can decide that I'm going to go and drop off these packages today. And then the person also decide when it's convenient for them to go and collect. I like that. That is why for me they deserve a 4, and I will highly recommend Paxi. I used Paxi a lot, especially for people that stayed in Mpumalanga, stayed in the outskirts of KZN, in the outskirts of Western Cape, and also even here in Northwest. I used Paxi a lot for those people, and it was always convenient, reliable. No one got their package damaged, because for me that is very, very important. And so Paxi 4. The last 2 companies I wouldn't highly suggest, but you can use them. Obviously, it's your own prerogative. You can decide whether to use them or not. At the end of the day, it's your life, it's your business. You get the final say on the things that you do in your business. And also, as I've mentioned, that it's all about experiences. For my experience may not be the same as the next person's experience, but I'm just sharing my own experience with hopes that it will be enlightening. The second to last one that I'm going to talk about is actually Courier. Now, Courier is a company that I'm currently using. Now, I will rate Courier 3. The reason why I'm giving them 3 is because of the drivers and the prices. Their rates are high and their drivers are annoying me. We'll start first with just Courier. Setting up their account, they use fully online system. So you do everything online and then they come and pick up. Setting up an account with them is fairly easy, and it's not that bad when it comes to price, because I think I paid about 1,600 when I was setting up their account. And then whenever the money when it gets to a certain amount, you just have to put more money into it. So it works like a prepaid type of service, but it's very much online and it's very effective and efficient when it comes to that part. My issue comes when it comes to their rates. So when it comes to areas, let's say for instance you want to move something from here to Pretoria, and you're moving it in Joburg, they might charge you 130, 140 for that shipment instead of less than 100 rands, even though it's in Joburg. And the reason why they're doing that is because they do not like to send their drivers in townships, because they find it to be dangerous and it's a high risk for them. And so because it's a high risk for them, they'll charge you more. So I didn't like that. So you find that sometimes I will send things from here to Western Cape and I'll be paying 170, I'll be paying 130. Sometimes I will pay 80 rands, 70 rands, but however, those occasions were very rare. They were very rare. And so as much as I like Courier, I do not appreciate that. And it did cause a lot of inconveniences in my business, and it did cost me a lot of money, because this money, I was charging a standard fee for Courier for each box that I was selling. And the standard fee was 100 rands. So if a courier company comes and says it's going to be 170 to move this to that area, I'm losing that 70 rands. I'm losing it. I have to find a place where I'm going to get that 70 rands in order to cover that. And so I didn't like that. It really costed my business a lot of money, if I'm just being honest with you. And then the last point when it comes to why I'm giving them 3 is the drivers. They're annoying me. So yesterday when I was packaging everything, I got everything ready before 9 because I wanted them to collect in the morning or latest 12. They only arrived after 5. What do you call that? What do you call that? So for me, that part, I find it annoying. Even last year, they did the same thing. I would put everything in the morning and then they will come and collect after 5. So what I didn't like is that they were inconveniencing me, because the reason why I put it in the morning, maybe I have plans for the day, but now I can't go anywhere because I'm waiting for these people to come and collect, and then they come collect after 5. If they had at least notified me that what time they're going to come, then maybe I would have actually stepped out and actually went and did those things. But they don't notify you. They don't tell you that, okay, we're going to collect at this time, so please be ready. So I found that to be very, very annoying when it comes to this courier company. And that is why for me, they deserve a 3. They deserve a 3. The last courier company that I'm going to talk about, which I'll never recommend to anyone, is actually RMX. I tried to use RMX for 1 month in my business when I was trying to move away from Courier Guy, because I was realizing that there was this additional, their fees were they were not constant. I was paying 170 here, 150 here, 120 here, and it was annoying and it was costing me a lot of money. And so I felt RMX is just a standard fee of 100 rands, and I actually go and actually drop off the packages, and then after that it's a door service. And so I thought that they will be convenient. I used them for a couple of times. I used them for that month. It wasn't okay. I didn't have problems until one package from here to Midrand arrived damaged. It took over 3 days for the package to be moved from Pretoria to Midrand. Now, if you do not know, Midrand is literally here. To go to Midrand from Pretoria is less than 30 minutes. 30 minutes is like max to go to Midrand, like max. So they took 3 days to move something from here to Midrand, and by the time it got there, it was damaged. It was damaged. The box was damp. It had water. The packaging, the wrapping was all damaged, even though the products were fine. But the packaging was damaged. Now, why for me this is important? If you go on my Instagram, you realize that my branding for this box is all about creating an experience in a box. Creating an experience in a box. That means that you receive this box and it gives you this experience about this brand. So it's very important how you receive this box, the condition of this box. So if that is compromised, that already takes away from the whole notion of why I decided that it would be an experience in a box. And so because of that reason, I had to refund the customer a full amount, even though the products inside were fine, but I had to refund the full amount because it was unfair. And it wasn't going to uphold to the standard that I had created for myself and the whole ethos of my business, which was to create an experience in a box. But now, where is that experience when the box is damp, when the box is no longer holding its position because it was water damaged, when the packaging itself does no longer even exist in there, like everything is just messed up? Then what is the point? And so I had to refund the client. So that was money lost. And it wasn't the first time that I experienced bad service from RMX. There was this one time I was buying from Amazon and things were shipped to me. By the time they got to me, there were things that were leaking, things that were damaged. Now, what pissed me off is that Amazon, they were quick to send my things. And then my things sat for close to a month at customs. And because they were sitting there at customs, I don't even know the conditions of their customs. But because they were sitting there, by the time they got to me, they were leaking. I lost some of my materials because things were leaking. And no one wanted to be accountable for it. And so it had been a long time since I experienced that. I thought that they had changed. I thought that they were a good courier company again, but then they're not. They're still that same courier company. So you may find that you use them few times. I feel like it's a good courier company to use randomly, so like there and there, to move your own personal things. But when it comes to your business, because they are not reliable, you would rather go with other options. Go with other options because it's not nice to have to refund a client money because that comes out of your pocket. So that is why for me, I will never recommend RMX to anyone. And because of that, I will give RMX 2. They deserve a 2. Actually, they deserve a 1, if I'm just being honest. They deserve a 1 because their drivers and they don't take care of their goods, of their shipments. They don't take care of their shipments. They don't prioritize their shipments. Because for the fact that I was sending something from Pretoria to Midrand, which is a 30 minutes distance, and it took them over 3 days, what do you call that? That is a sign that they do not appreciate their customers and they don't take care of their shipments. So with that being said, when it comes to Aramex, I wouldn't recommend it. Don't use it for a business, rather use it for personal reasons, because at least for personal reasons you won't cry that much, but for business it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you. So out of the 5 companies that I've used, Pyroca, Fastway, Paxi, those are the companies that I'll highly recommend. Highly recommend. Courier, you can try to use it depending on how you are as a business financially. If you feel that you can be able to withstand all those additional fee costs in each and every courier, in each and every package that you send out, then use Courier. But if you're a small business and you know that when it comes to cash flow you're really struggling, rather go with Paxi. It's a very easy, and the nice thing is that you know that when someone pays for that, you take that same amount that they've paid for, you use that. So it's not like you are incurring costs from your pocket, because even though Fastway is convenient, you have to take from your own packet to create the account, to buy the satchels, and then as you are selling, that's where you get back the money that you actually used in for those shipments. But with Paxi, you don't have to put money up front. You don't have to do that. So I'll highly recommend Paxi, and you can use Fastway, and then you can use Pyroca if you're in Gauteng. Highly recommend Pyroca if you're in Gauteng. Business or not, they're just convenient, they provide excellent service, and they're very reliable and affordable. So with that being said, those are the courier companies that I've used. There is experience that I've had with them, and those 3 top companies for me, they tick the boxes for me. The rest, no. So you decide which one you like. You can actually experiment, try all of them. I know that many people use Paxi and they have good things to say about it. So it is up to you at the end of the day. But I really wanted to share my journey, I wanted to share my experience with these courier companies, and also how I would rate them out of 5. I hope that this video was helpful and insightful, and if it was, please give this video a thumbs up. Huge thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribers yet, please do join our family, because if you're watching up until now, that means that you like this content. So please do me a favor by actually joining the family. I'll actually appreciate having you in this community. Until I see you on the next video, please take care and stay safe. Bye.